Good afternoon, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I will determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And now I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Jeannie Gleason. Afternoon, Ms. Gleason. What's your date of birth?
1/24/93.
Ms. Gleason, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for one charge of battery being domestic in nature. As for that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
Appoint the PD. State any history.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Jeannie, I have an address for you on Murraysville Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
Okay. And how long you been there?
Since 2012.
Okay. And you live there with it's your dad, right? Mr. Trito?
Yep, my stepdad.
Stepdad? Okay. And now the alleged date on this incident is the 20th of December. Have you been there since then?
Just to pick up my kids and leave, that's it.
Okay, all right. Do you have a job these days?
Nope. Stay at home mom.
Okay. Okay. So Ms. Gleason, what I'll do is set your bond at $10. Condition of the bond is that while this case is pending, you'll have no contact with Mr. Trito. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact him through any other social media. Don't have a third person contact him. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you can imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. Means no contact even if he wants the contact, so if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. He might go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that's not a decision he gets to make. That decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case or your lawyer tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they're not dropped and you should not have contact. We're going to have you back in court on February 5th. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Brandy Coop. Afternoon, Brandy. What's your date of birth?
10/11/77.
Brandy, I have, I think it's 7 charges total. I got 2 counts of possession of controlled substance, 3 counts of possession of a new legend drug without a prescription, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, and 1 count of driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
A 2000 DUI adjudication in Florida, and then I'm showing out-of-state history, which is out of North Carolina. I'm seeing a trafficking Schedule 1 felony, convicted in 2010 and incarcerated. To acquire, obtain a controlled substance by fraud, convicted, adjudication in 2009. Possession with intent to sell, Schedule 2 felony, convicted in 2009. And then another trafficking, convicted 2010. No other history, Your Honor.
Okay. Brandy, I have an address for you on Winter Lane in Hudson. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Since 2017.
Okay. You have a job these days?
In between, I'm actually trying to get something off with Etsy and eBay.
Okay. How long has it been since you worked?
Well, probably like maybe 5 weeks.
Okay.
And never mind.
Okay. What I'm going to do, Brandy, is set the bond at $500 on all 7 counts. That's a total of $3,500.
Thank you.
I'm going to have you back in court on the 4th of February. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Justin Arrington? Afternoon, Justin. What's your date of birth?
2/28/1986, sir.
All right. Justin, I have a warrant for you out of Citrus County. The judge has signed the warrant found probable cause for violation of probation. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. We're going to let Citrus know you're here and ready to go. Give them 5 days to come get you. It never takes 5 with Citrus. But if for some strange reason you're still here at 5, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Ralph Kemmerer? Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
February 28th, 1996.
Ralph, you're here on a warrant out of Pasco County. It looks like judge there thinks you failed to appear in a case and set your bond at no bond. Same thing. I can't change that. Same thing. Pasco gets 5 days. It'll never take that long with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, okay?
All right.
Thank you. David Krieger? Afternoon, David. What's your date of birth?
February 18th, 1962.
All right. David, you're here on a writ of bodily attachment out of Martin County. That means that a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge over there determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $1,090. If you can post the $1,090, you can get out of here and then go see the folks at Child Support Enforcement in Martin County. If you don't have that much money, they'll have 5 days to come and get you. When you get to Martin County, the judge there will have an opportunity to decrease that purge for you so you can get out. But they'll have 5 days to come get you. Same thing. If they haven't picked you up in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me so we can find out what the holdup is. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Christopher Perry. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
December 31st, 1977.
Christopher, the charge is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I'll hire an attorney.
Very good. State.
No history, Your Honor.
All right, Christopher, I have an address for you on Beaumont Loop in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
A little over 2 years.
All right. You have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work for a bank.
Okay. Set your bond at $500. We'll have you back in court on February 5th. When you speak to your lawyer, make sure you tell him about that date, okay?
Okay.
Thank
I haven't been able to reach or make a phone call.
Who have you been trying to, who do you want to call?
Family.
Okay, you have a name and a number?
I do.
What's the name and number?
Karen Perry,
And what's Karen's number?
352-345-5440.
All right. I'll make sure that you make that call, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, anybody else?
That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.